Welcome to a new episode of Dante's Den. We are super excited to be here at Midtown Recording Studios in the beautiful city of Daytona Beach, Florida. We'd like to say a huge thank you to Emmanuel Cowan, who is the manager of Midtown Recording Studios, for helping us get set for this special edition of Dante's Den. Today, my name is L.B. Robinson, and I'm here with Mr. Chauncey DUNHAM and Ms. Donna Banks. Chauncey is the owner of a Dante production, and Ms. Banks is the founder of the Fresh Book Festival, which will be taking place in January right here at the Midtown Cultural and Educational Center, January the 6th through the 8th of 2022. The festival is back on site. Last year it went virtual and international, and so we were super excited about being on site this year. Well, gang, we are back together again, and we're usually on the phone with each other, but we are in the studio today, and so I want to say good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, we're going to get right into our questions this morning, and let's chat. The pandemic pivot, and this will be for each of you, the pandemic pivot had to be made for nearly every organization out here. I don't think either of us missed having to make some modifications in the way that we do things. But particularly for the concert and festival industries, the impact was considerable. They depend on people to make them happen. People need to be at festivals, people need to be at concerts. And so for Chauncey, how has a Dante production come out on the other side of the pandemic?
To be honest, we have not hit the other side yet. The in-person concerts are still not at full capacity. However, we do have on our website the P2V, pay to view, and we record a lot of our concerts so people can still see them and they don't have to be on site.
Okay. Donna, how has Fresh Enterprises come out on the other side?
Well, we were very fortunate to have a setback that set us up for wonderful things. When we decided to go virtual, as you know, because we worked together on it, we weren't sure how that was going to go.
Yes.
It was an 8-hour day, virtual. We had people working in Georgia, Florida, and California to make it all work. And then something beautiful happened. We decided to go international.
Yes.
So our setback was a setup for better things. We bought in the National Book Festival from the UK. We bought in authors from Indonesia, and we also bought in a singing group from Ghana.
Yes.
So for us, it was about sitting down and thinking about what wonderful things could happen. Not what couldn't happen,
Yes.
but what else could happen.
The possibilities.
So yeah, the possibilities. So for us, it was a setback, but it was a setup for good things.
Yes. The unique thing that came out of a Dante production was the introduction of P2V, online concert entertainment, because you could not be in those venues. I believe the first one we did was Jazz on the Green.
Jazz on the Green.
And, doing that outside on the green at the Museum of Arts and Sciences, really was the first step in transforming the offerings of a Dante. And I think it's been going pretty well in terms of the reach, who's able to watch and who's able to view, and I think you'll come out on the other side pretty good.
Well, it was very much a learning experience too. We didn't expect that to go that way, and it was a great experience. It was learning and getting people to understand that you can still see a concert. You can see it from your own home this time.
Absolutely. And we see that a lot in terms of just the collaboration that is happening. What is happening now, particularly in these first few years of a new decade, in this first year of a new decade, how companies collaborate in order to reach their audiences and their customers has really changed. So with 21st century collaboration looking quite different from the 20th century.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we just had the beginnings of, video conferencing. There was video conferencing in prior decades, but, a little more sophisticated, the beginnings of that. But there's some really significant ways that collaboration has changed. We have a slew of video conferencing platforms now. You can sort of take your pick in order to, whether you want to do something like we're doing right now, hosting Dante's Den, or even host a virtual event where people would typically be on site. We are seeing a difference in how companies and organizations are connecting with their customers, their clients, and also keeping their audiences engaged. What have each of you learned about the power of technology to help you carry out your missions and keep you connected to your clients, your customers, and your audiences? And even when you're doing things in collaboration, because a Dante supports FreshBook and FreshBook supports a Dante. What have you learned in terms of technology and what technology can do to enhance your offerings?
I'll let Donna go first on that one.
Okay, so I think that when you're in business with people who want to do business, it's much easier, right? And for Fresh, it was just another step in making sure that indie authors and authors who are wanting to market their books, but not here, right? So now we started, with your help, we started Zoom in on a Fresh Conversation. That's done every Monday night, where we give an author an opportunity to market the book, to let people know how they put it together. And they come from all over. I believe, we did one last night with you, and on that particular call, there was somebody from Arkansas, there was somebody from New York, there was somebody from Florida, there was somebody from Indiana, you know what I mean? So, taking the opportunity to understand that the world is opened up, and maybe they can't be here with you, but that knowledge can be spread all over the world. So for us, it was just a good way of opening up the world to people, to authors, and so people that would never know about who they are, right? Would never know about who they are. So for us, it's a good thing. Yeah.
Now I'll swing back to a portion of your question. We had a phone call from Little Rock, Arkansas, from the Lynch chapter in Little Rock, Arkansas, and they said, "We heard about you went P2B. We don't know what that means and how to do that.
Right.
So with your help, you talked them through how to set up, and they did a whole event for the Lynx chapter in Little Rock, Arkansas. They did a whole event using technology because they knew it was out there. They just did not know how to do it.
Right.
LD talked to them, one of the members, and told them how to do it. Then I got the phone call, "We have done it, would you like to view it?" So I got an opportunity to view it, and it was wonderful. The other thing is the collaboration that's going on right now. I think it's the most wonderful thing that ever happened. Like-minded people, and I don't know whether it's fortunately or unfortunately, they're visionaries. It gets extremely interesting sometimes.
Extremely busy.
Oh, and I've learned to do something that I'm not used to doing. And that's charging my phone more than once a day. Because we talk to each other all day, every day. Private life gets stressed sometimes because we're on the phone. However, we're making a difference.
Yes.
That's the thing, that's the goal, to make a difference. And even this session today, it was your idea to get out of your comfort zone and let's do the den in Midtown. And just the opportunity again to collaborate with new people like Emmanuel. It brings us together face to face in a different form. And I think it's an extremely positive move.
I agree. I think it's There's something about, although with the individual companies, we have different focuses, but the intersection of them and how we're able to support each other and support the vision that really, the vision of a Dante, the vision of Fresh, and even the vision of LADERO, just making sure the way that these paths have intersected, really over technology, because initially it was a matter of, me doing your websites, right? Yeah. And so that has simply evolved as we found that we have interests that are shared interests, and we have passions that are shared. We have had the wonderful opportunity to work together on multiple projects. Recently, we worked to bring jazz in the Midtown studio, which will begin airing on the City of Daytona Beach's public channel later this month. When it comes to collaboration, how do you select those with whom you'll work? I mean, because it's not an easy thing to put your vision for an event or an activity, to share that in the hands of someone else and trust them to help bring that vision along. And so Jazz in the Midtown studio was certainly a new venue for a Dante. How do you decide with whom you'll collaborate? What do you look for?
Let me ask you a question based on that. Are you talking about the collaboration with the musicians or the collaboration outside of the musicians?
I think the collaboration outside of the musicians, but also let's talk about the artists. We talk about the artists quite a bit here in the Den. Typically, we're here with the artists of a Dante. And so I think it's very important for people to also understand, how do you decide how to work with a particular artist or a group of artists, a band? How does that work? Because we know that you've got some new talent coming online next year. And so we're pretty excited about what that's going to look like. So how do you decide how you choose artists who perhaps may already have musical careers, already have their footprint, and bring them along with your vision for Dante?
It's a very, in my mind, strategic process. I will give you an example. Hopefully, jazz in Midtown will continue. And we have a new jazz group called the Divas of Jazz. It's all female jazz group. However, I don't plan to introduce them until 2022. We have enough jazz groups right now to go through the end of 2021. I do have a new one that I will be introducing December the 9th. And they're not new to jazz, they're just new to Dante. And it's just making sure that I have the right people as far as musicians are concerned. And when I say the right people, I mean the people that fit the audience that I'm inviting, or that we're inviting as collaborators. Let me go outside. I'll go inside out. Let me go outside. Fresh book is very important to me, not because of the person, because I believe in riff. Reading is real fundamental. And you would, I've learned since I moved to Florida, and it happened outside of Florida, but I was too busy in mainstream to see what was happening. Now that I've slowed down, I think I have. Now that I've slowed down,
just a little bit.
My belief in reading is fundamental is stronger than it was before, because people don't understand literacy. I'll go back to my former life and make a statement. I came out of the federal government. I was sort of shocked at high school students that couldn't fill out an application. And right now, and as I said earlier, I believe in legacy. And to find like-minded people to collaborate with I've been very blessed. I found you and Donna, and there are other people, and it's very difficult to find like-minded people, and everybody's going in the same direction. So, you know, I listened to Donna where she talked about her international connection.
Yeah.
And you know, I have a statement about that.
And he made that happen.
That's not even important.
Yeah, you made that happen.
Let me tell you what. That was a beautiful international connection, and I'm interested in Donna going to the UK.
I'm interested in all of us going to the
Yes.
I didn't get there yet. I was going there. I was going there. Because I was on the conference call with her when she talked to the gentleman from the UK. He's extremely interesting, and he's extremely interested. So I've been blessed. I've been blessed, and somebody told me yesterday, everything's in the timing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The universal timing. I
Yeah.
believe that. I believe that. And so my answer to that is to stay in your lane. Right? So I'm a coordinator.
Very good at it.
Right. I coordinate. Right? And so if you say
Very well at that.
If you say you want to do something, then I'm all about coordinating it and making it happen. You are the multimedia person. Not going to get in that lane because I don't know anything about it. For quickly, I don't want to know because it's just too much. And then you are the talent. So I think that when people decide to stay in their lane, that they do well, you work better.
Yes.
Right? I'm never going to tell you how to do your job, and I'm never going to tell you how to do your job because guess what? I don't know how to do that. Now I will give you my opinion if you ask for it, but I think that's what makes the team work.
I think so.
You know, is that everybody kind of.
Can I interject something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Our teamwork is a great work. It really is.
Yeah.
I am so grateful. Continue.
And literacy is part of everything. It's part of
Absolutely.
media. It's part of artists. It's part of music.
Yes.
You know, you really, it's hard to play music if you're illiterate. I mean, people do, but it's harder, right? Even to be an artist, you have to know what the different colors are, matrices, how how something's going to fit on your landscape. All that is about literacy. And so now that we all understand that, well, this team understands it, it's much easier to walk down the yellow brick road to get the Oz.
Yes,
Right?
very much so.
I want to be the biggest supporter that Fresh has ever seen. I've learned so much. I've learned so much about what other people that I'm now meeting don't know.
Right.
And I'm just into literacy.
And the networking is, you just can't beat it.
No.
Yes.
You know. And I'm just going to say for Dante production, I was just talking to him on the phone and I said, you know what, I really need to meet this guy from the UK, right? And he said, okay, when did that happen? I was like, what are you talking about? And, and then it just happened. And since then, shout out to the National Black Book Festival in the UK. You cannot make those kind of connections unless everyone is willing to go out on a limb. You went out on a limb. That's how that happened. I never would have made that phone call. Never.
Well, it's funny that you say that because, and I guess I have a weird operating mind, because when you say, here's what I need, I feel obligated, if I can, to meet your need.
Right.
Either one of you. And it works. It would. City manager of Daytona Beach is an example. I happen to mention to you, I've never met him. And you said, oh, okay, I'll make that happen.
Yeah.
You said, we need some new talent to write for the newspaper, the Daytona Times. And I said, oh, okay, I'll make that happen. I picked up the phone and made a phone call. But that's the kind of thing, community-wise, that we need.
Yeah, you know what that's called? That's called sharing your knowledge, right?
Yes.
Some people want to keep it,
Yes.
but you're not giving that kind of like knowledge universally to keep it.
Not to keep it.
Well, it won't work in the graveyard.
That's guaranteed.
Yeah, right. What did we just say? Closed mouth never gets fed. Exactly.
Yeah.
A graveyard doesn't care what you keep.
If you are not going to share your creative ideas or your creative talents, your creative gifts with others, then they will be absolutely useless, and no one will know that you had that brilliant idea that literally could have changed the world.
Right.
But you know what? If it weren't for fresh, they would be able to read. So if you write it down, they could.
Literacy is definitely a legacy. Literacy is definitely a legacy. Well, we were talking about jazz in the Midtown studio. It was one of the first person sort of up close and the first on-site up close and personal events that's been held. A Dante production had the pleasure of providing the music for the Midtown Music Concert Series that was held this summer. But jazz in the Midtown studio was a bit different. There was definitely a club chill kind of vibe happening. What did it mean to you to be a part of bringing such great music and the atmosphere, that's both of you since it was a collaboration, to Midtown Studio, which is a City of Daytona Beach venue?
I'll start that way. Because I want to take a step backward with that. That was not my idea. Donna called me and said, you know what? And I said, well, Donna, I think that was only the fourth call that day. She only called 3 times earlier. She said, let's take the music to the studio. And I said, how do you do that? Donna said, I'll make that happen. And she did. And she gave us a list by number. Here's the number of people you can invite so we don't overcrowd the studio. And so the atmosphere is very intimate for everybody.
Which it was.
And I have to say, it worked.
I'm telling you.
It worked.
It worked.
And I'm very grateful. I am a risk taker and I understand that. And I'm very grateful for somebody saying to me, let's try it. And it worked. And we had invited guests. Some of the guests that I invited said, I never knew this was here.
Right.
I never knew the studio existed.
Right.
So not only was it good for us, it was good for the city of Daytona. It was good for Midtown. And I would like to see it go on continuously. I love it.
Fantastic. Donna?
It was just always a dream of mine. I mean, I think that, I think when I mentioned it to Chauncey, he said, what studio? Right? And so even that statement said a lot. Well, how do you have a state-of-the-art studio in the middle of Midtown and no one really knows about it? And so this is our way, the 3 of us, and Mr. Cowan, to put a spotlight on something that it should have a spotlight.
Absolutely.
People can come in and do so many things here, and so that's what that was all about. And it just worked out extremely well.
Very well. We want to stop here and say huge thank you to Emmanuel for just creating the atmosphere for jazz in the Midtown studio, just making it happen. Everyone just felt welcome. The music provided by a Dante production was just fantastic, beginning to end. I mean, the band played with such great passion and enthusiasm, and probably would have kept playing because they felt like they were in a club. So they would have kept playing like all night. We're like, no. Donna's like, no, you need to stop. It's time to stop. But they probably would have played all night long because it was just really. It was just that good.
It was really that good. We want to thank the staff too.
Oh, absolutely.
Midtown, because they were incredible. We came in and had to make many changes. We want to thank Sante Kings, Sante Kings, here in Midtown for the wonderful, bountiful food that they prepare.
Yes.
And so thank you to everyone. You know, these things don't happen because we're on an island by ourselves. It just does not happen that way.
Absolutely. Well, we have a question for you, Don.
Okay.
Obviously another question. Last year, Fresh went virtual for the first time. It also went international, and we talked about that before. What are some of the lessons from last year that will be incorporated this year, even as Fresh goes back on site and in person? And also, obviously we know the answer to this, but are you excited about being on site and in person again?
I'm so excited about being on site and in person again. And I think that technology can help us to bring the UK in for the book festival on January the 8th. So we're working that out. This year we're bringing an all-black sci-fi movie to the Peabody Auditorium. That's never been done. It's an all-black cast. The producers and the director are all from Atlanta. Booker T. Madison is bringing his new movie, and he's not able to be here.
Fantastic.
But he's sending Chandra McDonald, who is the producer, with his new movie. And that's just incredible. It'll be a red carpet affair. That's on the 6th. And then the 7th and the 8th. The 7th and the 8th of January, of course, the book festival is here in the Midtown studio, which is at 925 George Ingram Boulevard in the city of Daytona Beach. So all it did was make our vision wider.
Really?
You know, it just cleared the lens, because I'm telling you, when they said no book festival, no in person, my lens got foggy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I said, you know, God, you gave me Fresh.
Mm-hmm.
God gave him Dante.
Mm-hmm.
God gave you LADERO Press.
Mm-hmm.
What is my next move?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, open your lens.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Open your lens.
Yes.
And that's what we did. And so now we're incorporating everything in the in-person production. And listen, you can't do it alone. I'm just telling you, every time I say to somebody, can we do this? Yeah, we can do that.
Yes.
Can we do this? Yeah, we can do that.
Yes.
Right? And so when you have that kind of open book, it makes it easier. Even the no's are soft.
Yes.
You know, Donna, no, we can't do that, but this is the reason why.
Mm-hmm.
But we can do this.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
A soft no and a bigger yes always works for me.
Always.
Soft no.
Always. Mr. C?
Yes.
We're going to ask you about 2022.
Okay.
So as 2021 quickly approaches 2022, what are you envisioning for Dante production, its artists, and music lovers in the coming year? Will you be slowing down or speeding up?
I don't think so.
You know, that's a very interesting, that last one. I'm going to do this very quickly. I'm going to explain to you why I moved to Florida. I had this false idea in my mind that I was going to come to Florida and retire.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up meeting some people, then I had to turn and make it rewire. Will I be slowing down? That was my intent. Let me tell you my intent. I was going to rest from December of this year all the way through May of 2022.
How's that looking?
I had a concert in December, Fresh in January, a concert in February, a concert in March, a concert in April, and a concert in May. It's not looking good. Not looking good at all. I think, but out of all those concerts that I have, I'm introducing 4 new albums.
That's fantastic.
And again, you know, Don and I have a rule. It's the don't call me before 10 o'clock in the morning rule. So I called her and I said, we're going to do a Valentine's Day show. And she said, we? What you mean we? I got first book. I said, I need your help in thinking it through. I told her who to tell and she qualified it. She said, if you're going to do it, I'm going to support it. She said, no matter what I said to you, if you're going to do it, I'm going to support it.
Right.
So sometimes you need that kind of encouragement, because I really was going to rest, so I thought. And sometimes you need that kind of encouragement
Absolutely.
to keep it going.
Absolutely.
March is our anniversary.
That's right.
Anniversary of Dante in Florida.
Oh, my.
And I got a phone call and said, did you know March was Women's History Month? And then the vision came together. That is the perfect time to introduce the Divas of Jazz.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I made a statement. We have 54 moving parts. And I made a statement 15 minutes before showtime. I don't want a man near the stage. Find someplace else to go. Don't go near my stage. That day belongs to the women.
That's going to be good.
So
And
fantastic.
we have a fantastic mistress of ceremony for that one. I don't even think I told you. You might know her.
I don't know.
Kind of weird. That would be her.
I'm excited about it.
It's good. It should be very exciting. This
It's
is very exciting.
very big, and there's just, I'm not going to go into what follows that thing, but there are other things going on.
So we're excited about what is happening at Dante and what is happening. We really saw the expansion of Fresh last year, which was
Absolutely.
really just encouraging from I would say from my end, being on the back end, behind the camera, so to speak.
Right.
That being, just seeing it come to fruition, everything, all the things that needed to be done from the website and, and just really just to see it come together and see that vision expand is something good to be a part of. And collaboration is a wonderful thing. And if you can find people who are able to get your vision and bring clarity to it because of their skills and their gifts, that is a wonderful thing. And, we aren't intent, as we said earlier, your gifts, talents, and skills are not intended to just rest solely with you and in your mind. You need people to help bring those about. I mean, the things that you all ask me to do expands my skill set, setting up an online concert channel. Like, I hadn't done that before. All those things really, the requests that we make of each other helps to expand our gifts. It also expands our office and keeps us connected to our given audiences and clients and customers. There are lessons that we're able to share with others from the things that we do together. And so
And you taking us out of our comfort zone. Like,
Yeah.
This is way out of my
You
This is good.
You made us out of
This is
our comfort
way
zone
out of
very
our
well.
Well, that's one of my gifts and talents and creative skills.
Right.
It's becoming frequent.
Right. It really does help you to open the lens, because I just am not a real camera person, but I understand that it's important in this day and age to be on camera, to be verbal, to make sure that people
Absolutely.
understand what your vision is, and I thank you for that.
You gotta put a face with your dream, right? You gotta have to put a face with your vision. It matters. People like to know who they're supporting, and it just goes a long way with helping to communicate your mission to the world. Whatever that mission is, if your mission is cakes, then communicate it to the world. If your mission is music, like Emmanuel, communicate it to the world. Whatever it is, if it's introducing artists, if it's ensuring that literacy is a legacy, just communicate it to the world. It's part of your mission. It's part of who you are. And I guarantee you that if you don't do it, you're going to be missing that part of satisfaction that you really could be having out of life, because you're not doing what you're gifted to do, and you're not doing what you're purposed to do. And that's extremely important. We are so excited about being back in the den. It's been a while since we've been in the den.
Yeah.
And I really like being here in the studio too.
I like it. We like it.
I mean, Emmanuel's got, you know,
Everything you need, right?
everything you need.
I knew this was going to start something new.
It's comfortable.
It's
It
comfortable.
is comfortable.
I like it. I like it. I like it. So we want to say thank you for joining us in Dante's Den again. My name is LD Robinson. I've been here with Mr. Chauncey Dunham, who is the owner of a Dante production, and Miss Donna Gray Banks,
Thank you
who
for
is
having
the
us.
founder of Fresh Book Festival, which we will tell you is taking place January the 6th through the 8th, 2022, right here in the Midtown Cultural and Educational Center on George Ingram Boulevard in the beautiful city of Daytona Beach and vibrant community of Midtown. You'll be able to catch a Dante production concerts coming up. As Chauncey has told us, we've got a bunch of concerts coming up and events that will keep the music lover and you satisfied. In the meantime, we invite you to go to P2V online concert entertainment at adanteproduction.com. We've got concerts there that you can get your groove on. In fact, you can watch the groove right there. You're able to rent it for $10 and for 72 hours and keep some good jam going in your house. And we've got other concerts there, right there on P2V online concert entertainment by Dante Production. My name is LD Robinson, and we are so happy that you have joined us in the Den, and Dante's Den, that is. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Hello, Mr. C. Can you hear me? Hello?
No.
Speak. I hear you. You can't hear me? Let's see. Are you able to hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi, Donna.
Hi, Donna.
Is Chauncey here?
He's here. He just
He's what?
dropped out there a little bit.
He's been there already?
Yes.
Yes,
I'm so
we're
sorry.
live.
Are you live? Okay, hi everybody. Hi, I'm so sorry we got caught up at Thanksgiving dinner, and so I'm just getting here. Just put my lipstick on.
That's good.
So what's going on? Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did.
I did. I was good.
And so we're ready to do the studio.
Yes.
Dante's Den.
Yes.
Yes.
And how did it go? How do you think it went?
Dante's
Dante's Den?
Yes, how do you think the interview went?
I think
I think it went well. Little sound things.
Are you
Are you hearing feedback?
No, I'm not hearing feedback. Are you getting feedback from me?
I'm getting
no.
No, I'm good.
I'm getting some.
I'm getting some from myself.
We're waiting
on
Chauncey.
Chauncey.
Oh, he hasn't he come yet?
He was
He was here.
And he went back away?
I had to unplug that.
Oh, so he's coming back on.
He's coming back.
He's coming back on.
Okay.
There he is.
There he is.
There he is. Hey.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Hello.
What is he doing?
All right.
All right.
You're gonna have to do a lot of editing.
This one, you totally live.
I'm not muted.
We hear
We
you.
hear you.
You have a
You have a
lot.
lot going on behind you.
Go ahead with him.
You on your phone?
Are you on your phone, Chauncey? Do you want us to go out and come back in?
Do it on your phone.
phone.
Go without me. I'll just stay on my phone. Okay.
All right.
All right.
So go ahead.
So did you
all have a good Thanksgiving?
Say that again.
You don't have
You don't have a good Thanksgiving?
Oh my goodness, I should be out jogging. It was just incredible, just way too much food. Everybody bought a lot of different things, a lot of different tastes. You know, it was a great day. They're in there playing a game called Debates. And it's about relationships, right? And it's a card game. So if anybody is interested in that, it gives you very poignant things to talk about. Like one of the questions was, if your partner, significant husband is on social media all day and you see that he's posting and, you know, pictures of the dog and the cat and food that he ate, but you're somewhere else and you've sent him a text and he has not responded. So how do you feel about that? So since I am so neglectful about that kind of thing, it gave me pause, because I think that I do neglect responding right away. And I'm not sure why that is. So maybe I'll do better. That was one of the questions.
Sometimes I think you do what you're doing.
I think we get caught up, right? You know, or you look at it and say, okay, I'm going to respond right away. But then an hour goes by, right? And then you get up from your computer, walk away from your phone, and then you come back and you say, oh my goodness, I did not respond. So my normal response to that was, since I didn't respond, I'll say something like, well, I was on Zoom, you know, or I was on a phone call, please forgive me. But sometimes I just think we get caught up. But, you know, some people think it's really important that you respond right away. And one of my girlfriends said to her at this age that you should be a priority at all times, right? Don't make me something you just think about, but make me a priority. So I kind of understand that.
I do, but we priorities.
Right. But since we're in the world of priorities, yeah. But see, if you're in a relationship, I guess you should be a priority all the time, right? I mean, there's that.
Yeah,
there's that. So that was one of the questions. The other question was, if your significant other, for whatever reason, got sent away to prison, federal, state, wherever. I guess he had to go to federal because it was 20 years. Would you not be sexually active during that time? So there's some very mixed emotions about that. With your man being in prison and, would you abstain? So very, very interesting questions. It's called debate. That's the name.
Debate.
Mm-hmm. Debate.
Huh.
The other question.
Well, I want to remember for a podcast.
Yeah. Maybe you do a podcast and and the debate, you just pull a card, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody on the podcast or the Zoom cast has to answer the question, which I think is very interesting.
That's very interesting.
But
I want to know what happened to Chauncey.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can follow up a little bit on what's happening. Next month, but also what's happening next year.
Next year, are we talking about fresh?
We're talking Dante.
Oh, Dante. Okay, so
but you can tell us about fresh.
No. I just didn't know where we were going.
No. I have a banner here.
So, what would you like us to talk about, Dante? All the things we have going on? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yes.
We have plenty going on. Just completed the Midtown studio, which was fantastic.
Yes, and our next one will be December the 9th. Jazz in the Midtown studio with Dante's Dream. Is that correct? Right?
That's correct.
Chris Clark and Dante's Dream. It is a private viewing in the Midtown studio. It's going to be fabulous. It's a very intimate setting with about 30 people. And that particular event will be recorded and then uploaded to Dante Productions website. And we're really excited about that. I'm hoping that they'll give us a little Christmas music since it is Christmas. Maybe we'll put that out there when they arrive. One good Christmas song would be nice in a jazz flavor.
Yeah.
And that kind of ends the year for Dante's production. But if we talk about what the year looks like, it was amazing, right? I mean, you want to look back on 2021, we made extreme strides in connecting with the community of Daytona Beach and Deltona. And it's amazing that, we've had to become more like an octopus because our tentacles have had to reach out to many, many different places. Okay. And in doing so, though, that opens up doors of opportunity for almost everybody. For me in literacy, for you in media and marketing, and of course, for Chauncey and events and jazz, not only jazz, but doo-wop and R&B, just so many avenues have been open. And we are really hoping to just make that trajectory expand even more in 2022.
It's going to be exciting with everything going on. Concerts in February. We have. I don't know if Chauncey will announce that.
I know, right? We're not sure because, the man is not online. So we can't give away too many secrets. But we'll just say that almost every month for the year, there will be an event that Dante Productions is a part of, and Fresh Book, and of course, LADERO Press, LADERO Design Works. And we've just really gelled together because we're so different in what we do, but so the same, right? You can't have music without reading, right? And you can't have music and reading without production. Mm-hmm. So it really is, we came up with kind of a quick name, 3-tier, because without those three things, it just won't happen. We really want to expand our audiences on all forms of music, not only jazz, but doo-wop and R&B and Just everything.
Just for sugar.
Is he good?
He says everything is down and
well, we can do this again tomorrow when he's able to join us. Yeah. Why don't we? Because we don't want to give away any trade secrets, just in case, you know. We don't want to do that. So, everybody, we will be back tomorrow, probably around the same time, and and we'll tell you more about what's coming up for 2022. All right.
Mr. C is experiencing technical issues.
Yes.
And so because this is Dante and Dante production channel.
Right, exactly. We really can't do it without him.
we can't do it.
Yeah, right. You know, we could talk all day about our own businesses, but that just wouldn't be quite right at this point. Exactly. So thank you very much, LD, and we will zoom in on a time tomorrow and do this again.
All right.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye,
everybody.
Bye, everybody.